Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. They suck the blood of the poor and the wick they mouth. The last gasp of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
That's the essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week. Is everybody good? I don't know. Yeah. Is everybody good? We were discussing why Farouk has two pictures and everybody else only has like
people
one.
Love seeing me. That's
one
why.
picture shown. Like,
people
why is he? What's up with that? But welcome to This Week in White Supremacy. I'm Jasiri X, one half of the Waffle Twins.
So we doing it today, baby. You get me? What it do, baby? What it do, baby?
The Waffle Twins.
The Waffle Twins.
But we're not the one. We're different. We're a different group.
Yeah, we're completely. Yeah.
We're a different group, Miracle.
But this isn't gonna help the people that think that we're related already.
That is true. That is very
So,
true. That is very.
It's
Or well, at least this will help you because people mistake you for me or
all the fucking time.
See,
we are not the same person.
in the same
This is
place.
proof that we're not the same person.
Two different people. And so welcome. I'm Jasiri X, co-founder, CEO of One Hood Media, one half of the Waffle Twins.
I know, Sai with the shade, super villain, extraordinaire, lover of syrup and all things beige. All things khaki.
Syrup isn't beige, bro.
Connoisseur of khaki.
And welcome, Miracle. You have you just muted yourself. Oh, you about to go? You have some wonderful art in the background of your lovely abode.
You know what? I feel like I need a vacation. I'm gonna leave. I feel like this is oppression. This is oppression.
What happened, Miracle? We're the Waffle Twins. We're not the.
Pass the mic. Pass the mic.
Yes.
NLS, Mr. Treble, and then we can introduce our special
It's
guest.
Treble never liked supremacy. You know what I'm saying? One hood's hippie, neighborhood guru. You know I'll get down.
Oh wow! Well, can you back up the Miracle? I guess we're hoping Miracle has having technical difficulties. And she didn't just quit live on the air. Right. Trouble, you joined.
She's protesting in solidarity. Look at all this light skin energy.
Bro, my lights are like super bright, bro.
We're not
my eyes are burning right now.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah. So yeah, we're helping Miracle come, but we have a special guest. Morgan Moody, filmmaker, right? Director, producer, writer,
former ESPN employee,
birthday girl.
Birthday girl.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Large, let's make some noise.
Thank you.
And so we asked Morgan to join us today because she was a Black woman formerly employed at ESPN, and one of the big stories that broke was, and hopefully we can get in maybe a larger conversation about allyship, but it was Rachel Nichols, a white woman reporter from ESPN,
the white woman
for NBA. She's like the main white woman. Yeah, she's probably like the main white lady for ESPN right now. She was, I guess she was in the bubble. She had some equipment. She didn't know how to turn it off, and she was caught on tape. You know what I'm saying? Basically, on a live mic.
What was more troubling to me, and I'm not saying what she said wasn't troubling.
Wait, what did she say? So we have to tell.
So Rachel Nichols.
Yes.
Rachel Nichols says, as a white woman, she knows what it's like to be discriminated.
Well, she didn't really say that.
As a woman,
she basically accused. So it's a Black woman, Maria Taylor, who's she's hosting the basketball. She's been hosting the basketball showcase for ESPN. If you're watching the playoffs, all of that stuff. I guess that was Rachel's job. And Rachel felt like Maria got that job because of diversity. So here's Rachel Nichols, who, like many white people, screams out Black Lives Matter and publicly, But here she is on a private call basically saying, she believed that Maria Taylor got this job because of ESPN's record on diversity.
Right, because they have a bad track record on diversity.
Right.
And what was more alarming to me, I won't say less alarming, but this LeBron spokesperson said, between Me Too and Black Lives Matter, I'm exhausted.
Yes, he's exhausted. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, white man.
I'm sorry, your whiteness is troubling.
Imagine if you had 400 years of slavery. You probably would be even more tired.
Right? I just couldn't believe that I could believe it, but at the same time, like, this is the spokesperson for LeBron James.
Well, he runs LeBron James more than a vote piece.
Yeah, right.
But these were, two white people that outwardly show allyship. But, behind the scenes, as they talked amongst themselves, this is something that as Black people, we knew. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But, so this blew up. New York Times put a story out. It talked about the conditions of ESPN. And Rachel Nichols is still hosting. She was kicked off of the sidelines for the NBA Finals, but she still hosts a show called The Jump. And on Monday, The Jump, this was how Rachel Nichols introduce the show, and then we'll get into the conversation.
In journalism school is don't be the story, and I don't plan to break that rule today or distract from a fantastic finals. But I also don't want to let this moment pass without saying how much I respect, how much I value our colleagues here at ESPN. How deeply sorry I am for disappointing those I hurt, particularly Maria Taylor, and how grateful I am to be part of this outstanding team.
Well, Rachel, I want to
be with these two niggas right here.
Always.
Yeah, now you need diversity, right? Now you need diversity because you need some Black people to vouch for your whack ass. So now diversity is cool. You know what I mean?
She's every white woman right now says, I can't be racist because I fuck black guys. That's like what she looked like right now. She looked like every white woman saying that shit.
So
like she rehearsed her apology speech. She was like, "How do I look apologetic?"
It wasn't an apology.
Yeah,
it was anything but.
And she put the tears in her eyes, and
the eye drops.
She saw it. She got caught. The end.
So Morgan, you worked at ESPN. You worked for ESPN, and one of the things that came out in the New York Times piece was the only person that was punished. So like when Rachel Nichols was on this call talking about diversity, it was downloaded to an ESPN server.
You put a D at the end of ESPN.
What did I say?
ESPN.
ESPN.
Like it was
maybe it's over. Maybe it's over for them.
You made it. ESPN in that.
So this Black woman, Kayla, what's her last name?
Morgan Johnson.
Okay,
Johnson. I think.
We're just gonna call her Kayla Johnson.
Yeah.
We'll investigate it. I don't know if we have the New York Times it's in the New York Times article that we just dropped in the chat. She's the only person who has been punished so far. She took that, and to me, this is like sisterhood, right? She took that, that conversation and she sent it to Maria Taylor. That's what I would want from something like, if you Black, you find that somebody's talking down on me that's trying to be all in my face, smiling like they my friend, please, let me know. So she sent it to Maria. And from what I understand, she's the only person that's been punished. But a lot of Black people did leave. You've been at ESPN behind the scenes. Is it a friendly place for Black people?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I would certainly say that between Black women, it's a little bit more of a sisterhood, if you want to call it that. I was a lot closer. I found that, I would go to parties, I'd be invited to things, always Black events, and always Black women inviting me, a lot of higher up Black women that are actually on those shows would be there. Very supportive, vouching for, I was a PA initially when I started there. So, certainly wanting you on their shows and being there. As far as Black women just helping each other out, it was great. Obviously that doesn't translate. And as far as diversity even goes, to be quite honest, it is very diverse at ESPN, but it's to a point, it's once you get to those higher up jobs, you don't see Black men and women in producer roles. You don't see Black men and women, you know, it's just so far and few in between in these higher up executive positions. And so they end up leaving because it's basically like they keep you in the same position for years and years and years. And like, I just even remember when Kayla was promoted and people were just like over the moon because that just does not happen. She probably was like the only Black woman on that show. So
personally, how did you feel it, like day to day in the office? Like how did, like in terms of representation and just, I guess, like people's general attitude towards you? And did you have any specific issues with Rachel Nichols?
I never really, you know, rarely did I ever work with Rachel Nichols. I'd probably see her in the hallway or something in passing. So no, you know what I mean? This sort of conversation is obviously like not outwardly happening around anyone. You know, she's saying it in spaces where she thinks it's safe, where it's, you know, a small group of people. She doesn't think that's what this thing happened a year ago.
Right.
So
right.
I'm honestly surprised that it even took this long. I remember hearing about it from other employees when it did happen, because they had demoted Kayla. And I would like Google every day because I'm always here to drag ESPN. Like I was Googling it every day to see if it ever was going to make the news. And I never saw anything about it. And I was pretty shocked considering, you know, the racial climate at that point last year. But
why do you think it broke now versus last year?
I just think it got into the right hands. That's just pretty much it, because I am positive that there was another news outlet, and I don't want to quote it, but I want to say Deadspin at the time had it. And right. So people were wondering like why, because I think that's what I was looking for too. I was checking Deadspin daily. Deadspin used to, I mean, have a pulse on everything that was happening. I would find out things that were happening at ESPN on Deadspin sooner than I would, you know, through like our own company. I remember we had like a lice outbreak and it was on Deadspin before it was on like our internal system it was called ITK. So I don't know why it took so long. And, you know, watching her apology, I don't think she's sorry. You know, Kayla's had to move on to another job. I think that's horribly embarrassing. Of all the people that honestly needed an apology, it was also Kayla who deserved one from Rachel Nichols. And so, you know, I don't think she's sorry. She's just a white womaning. I saw this thing that said, basically what Rachel said is the equivalent of like, I like Black people, just not in my neighborhood. And that's just the attitude that, you know, most white women at that company, and even the white men tend to have about people of color at ESPN.
Yeah, I think there was also a conversation. I would want, you know, Miracle to hop in as well and Trouble. I think it was also a conversation around like Rachel Nichols' father being somebody that was very powerful in the media industry. Her mother-in-law being Diane Sawyer.
Oh, what?
Right. And so it was kind of this thing because one of the statements that she made, she said, Rachel Nichols said, I basically just outworked everybody for so long that they had to recognize it. I don't want to then be a victim of them trying to play catch up for the same damage that affected me in the first place. So I'm just trying to be nice. So here's kind of like Rachel Nichols, you know, like again, kind of going back and basically saying, in her opinion, that, you know, Maria Taylor got this job only because she's Black, only because, she, ESPN's trying to make up for this diversity hire. Ironically, she was replaced as the final sideline reporter with another Black woman, Michaela Andrews. So just wanted to see that your take, Miracle, on, you know, allyship and I mean, you know, white woman allyship for lack of a better word.
I don't know. My parents always said like you can never have friends with someone who wants the same position as you. And I think this is something that is an indicator of that, because a lot of allies are really down and gung ho when it's a savior, when you can be a savior. But when you have to deal with someone who's on the same level as you or works in the same area as you, then it becomes an issue. And so I was wondering, I know you said this happened a year ago, Morgan. Have you heard about any training opportunities, any pathways to promotion that ESPN has introduced in this past year to make sure that anyone who's coming in the doors is able to get those opportunities and some of those higher up behind the scenes jobs and opportunities?
No, I mean, they have, 18 different organizations and groups that are a part of ESPN that promote diversity, promote, queer allyship. If you're, I don't want to use the word disabled, but they have all that in place. But no, I do know that there was a group of women last year when this did happen in response to Kayla being demoted that tried to come up with a list of action items for the president, Jimmy, to kind of like act on. And if I'm not mistaken, nothing was really done. So those women are also no longer with the company.
Right.
And it just, that's just what it gets to. Like, it just ends up being, it's just very frustrating. And it's just kind of like, it's just like no one's ever listening. No one's ever listening and no one ever really cares. So, these women end up leaving these positions, and it gets so white. The higher up everything goes, every position, it's just fewer and fewer.
Yeah, it's interesting because, Rachel Nichols' comments towards, Kayla was that she was shaken a fellow employee would do this, and that other employees, including some within the NBA project, had no remorse about passing around a spy video of a female coworker alone in her hotel room. That's not really what it was.
How dare you out me for being racist?
Exactly.
How dare you call me on my racism?
So she took it as like being hurtful. And it did say a number of Black women left when Kayla was suspended and left. And so it is interesting because so far we haven't heard. I mean, do you think ESPN, Morgan, is going to do anything about Rachel Nichols? And this is under the backdrop of Maria Taylor negotiating a contract. So you had like maybe a week ago, Jalen Rose was like, pay her money. Yeah. What she's owed. And her team kind of had her back. Woj had her back and said Rachel Nichols was a bad teammate. Will anything be done? Like, do you think that, or will this, do you think maybe will this spark some of those programs that Miracle talked about, maybe that's needed at ESPN?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anything will be done because I don't think anything has to be done. ESPN is primarily, their audience is primarily older white men who likely skew a certain way politically and support these sort of ideals. I mean, you've seen that company lose so many prominent black talent over the years. Right. Jamel Hill being one of them.
That was a huge bad fumble.
Yeah, so I don't think anything will change because I don't think anything has to. People are still going to continue, their audience is still going to continue to be their audience, and people are still going to continue to watch it. I just still think it's just such a weird thing that, like, especially having worked there, I've watched Maria go from, college basketball, covering all those games, to like really working her way up. And so it's like such a small piece of the pie that she could have. I mean, Rachel has her own show. And so to even say that there's no room here for you, I'm happy for you to like do your own thing, but like not here, it's just
it goes back to that allyship that Miracle said, like, as long as it doesn't make me uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all for saying Black Lives Matter, doing all that. But if I have to sacrifice some power, some money, anything like that, I'm not ready for that sacrifice. You were going to say something, Miracle?
Yes, I was like, memory serves me correctly that ESPN did allegedly like opposition on her and was dropping stories that like Maria was trying to get like too much money and was. Yes. So I think it's very important when we're talking about like what ESPN is doing is also not only have they not really been proactive in the situation, they've been accused of kind of like tarnishing Maria's name behind the scenes.
Absolutely, including accusing her of leaking this tape. She actually is quoted in the article. Really? Yeah, that she basically said the first time she heard from HR after 2 incidents of racial sensitivities, insensitivity was she was asked if she leaked this tape. I think that was the initial tape that went to Deadspin that you were talking about, Morgan, as well. And she added, she said, just being a front-facing Black woman at this company is taking this toll on her physically and mentally. And so, like, here she is kind of bearing this weight. And then so you're getting it from both sides, you know what I'm saying? But it also talked about how she helped to kind of, you talked about that sisterhood, how she helped to mentor Michaela Andrews, who is now kind of on the show with her. So it'll be interesting to see. Trouble, you had something that you wanted to add as well?
Yeah, so I kind of have a problem with using the word allyship so loosely. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like where I'm from, you can't say you eloped and throw a bees in private. You feel me? And then it's like looking at it from like an American history perspective. If you claim you're an ally, when we go to war, you got to be about that shit. Yeah. If we call on you, you got to be ready to boot up. But it's like if you're in private talking about how angry you are that ESPN is hiring minorities, but you're claiming that you're an ally, it's just like, bro, you're set tripping for real, bro. I can't call you an ally. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that's real. And then saying like how you're tired of Black Lives Matter and Me Too, like, oh, I'm tired of having to, and because really what you're saying is you don't want to be held accountable like for what happened in the past, and you don't want to create a system that's gonna like lead to real equity.
You like the way things were. Like you like it work when Black people weren't talking out. Yeah, so it's interesting because like the WNBA, none of these issues. The WNBA was the crux of all of this. Like they really introduced all of this into the social media kind of zeitgeist that we're not playing, we're not doing anything until you recognize us specifically. And they brought this to the forefront. And for a white man at ESPN to say, I'm Me Too'd out, like, I'm sorry women talking about their sexual harassment perturbs you. Yeah. I'm sorry that Black people being murdered in the street upsets your breakfast and orange juice and your poached eggs and mayonnaise sandwich or whatever the fuck you eating, right?
Trouble's not sorry.
Yeah. And it's wild because the dude saying this, like, you're running an organization for LeBron that like came out of the Black Lives Matter movement. Like,
and you're giving her ways to spin this in her favor in the media. Like you can make a dope tweet thread out of this. Like you could, like, you're literally white manning this shit. You're white supremacying this shit.
I mean, that's what he gets paid for, I guess.
I guess.
He's an advisor.
Yeah, I guess.
Like non-Black people couldn't even last a year with just the impacts of like their racism and bigotry. And it's like there is no empathy for Black people.
This nigga act like Black Lives Matter has been going on for 20 years. It's been like 3 years.
It's really only been popping for 2 of the 3. Like if we really talk, if we're gonna keep it tall, like it's only been like a thing for 2 years.
You ain't even graduate yet. I mean, god damn, bro.
Like I think it just shows that people really don't care, and people's hearts and minds really aren't with equity and equality. They wanted the picture, they wanted the clout on social media, but when it comes to actually retaining and developing talent, having to, see people in the hallways, see people in the C-suites, they're like, you know what, hold on, pump your brakes. That's a little too much too fast. And I think it just goes to show, like how, like Trevor was saying, these people are really out here false flagging. And once again, Black people can't be so in need of having white support and white acceptance that they allow these fake allies or, these wolves and sheep clothing in the midst. But also point out how none of y'all Black men, not y'all two who replaced me in trouble, but how none of y'all Black men actually had any smoke for Rachel when she was interviewing. Like none of them could have been like, really, Rachel?
Didn't someone decline?
Right.
No.
Yeah, CP3.
Yeah, CP3 declined the interview. Yeah.
CP3 declined, and that was the one person that I certainly expected to. But I would have loved to have seen her go on the sidelines and just be rejected after rejection after rejection. That's what they should have done if ESPN needs ratings.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. But no, I mean, and like you said, like Kendrick Perkins did an interview afterwards where he talked about it was a very uncomfortable position to be in. Richard Jefferson kind of was like, we're going to have more uncomfortable conversations, but like you're really like put in a position where you got to like vouch for this white lady and her like not being, well, I know, then she don't have a racist bone in her, but look, I mean, I just wish like, because we don't get that same love. You know what I'm saying? When we do something, we mess up, you didn't see them, I mean, I guess Paul Pierce did kind of have a little moment, but you didn't see
Paul Pierce is living his best life.
Nobody came and defended, hey, no, I mean, this was his private time. This is what he did. Like, I didn't see that. Like, a lot of times when we do something, we don't get that same defense. We don't get these white people really speaking up. Exactly. We don't. She knew the rules. Like, we, what I mean. So that's what's so hurtful about seeing these black people like tap dance. You know what I'm saying? And I know like this your job and you getting a check and but at some point, man, shout out to Kayla Johnson. At some point, Kayla Johnson put her, I'm gonna stand with my sisters above this job. She knew the risk. She gave that tape to her sister. She wanted to make sure her sister understood what she was going up against. We need more Kayla Johnsons in the world.
And to paraphrase a Miracle always say on here, it's always black women doing the most in the wake of everyone doing the least. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? That's just the facts.
So is there something you're doing now, Morgan, that we can support? Because I know you're not working at ESPN, which is good, obviously. It's this environment. What do you have going on? Is there anything that we can support?
Yeah. So next week on the 15th, I will be ADing. Yes, you will be there. ADing the Kelly Strayhorn Hotline Ring. It's a second fundraiser for 7 organizations represented by Black, queer, all types of groups, arts organizations. One Hood will be there, Boom Concepts, Dreams of Hope, the Legacy Arts Project, Pearl Arts, BCLA. And obviously Kelly Strayhorn. So and we're gonna have like a whole segment with all the Black mayors of Pittsburgh. It's gonna be very dope. So tune in on the 15th from 6 to 10. Donate. And I'm on a podcast as well, but I can't really talk about that because it's not out yet. And
when the podcast comes, let us know. Again, we want to wish you a happy birthday. We want to thank you for spending some of your birthday with us.
Thank you for having me on. This was a great way to spend my birthday. So thank you. Anytime I get to come on here and certainly represent for Black women, I'm very happy to do so. So yes, go Kayla.
Thank you very much.
Morgan. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Bye.
Peace.
All right. Peace out, Morgan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at us getting guests on.
Okay, well, now that she's gone, let's talk about Now that she's gone, let's get here. My waffle colored brothers. Let's talk about how this happened. We're talking about, support Black women. Let's talk about how y'all just like.
We thought you were coming. You was gonna be like a nice little oil for us.
I was like, I'm good. I'll log in 15. Ain't nobody said no. Miracle, come to the office.
I texted you.
Invite.
You told me, my nigga, that you was gonna come.
You didn't have a sisterhood and
when I came in, I asked, and Farouk said Miracle should be here. About 5:30.
Do you see how men be stuttering when they can't get their lives
together? Farouk did not expect me to be in the office. No. I have, stuff being done on my house. There was a lot of noise happening. I had to come here. I had another interview. I had an interview earlier today.
Who'd you have an interview with?
With KDKA.
Go ahead, flex.
So,
don't be trying to flex when we're talking.
No, but did you get my text? I texted you.
And I responded, and I said I will be logging on.
Yeah, no, I said, are you coming to the office?
That was the infamous office, and y'all weren't like, "Come through, we gonna be here."
So let's go # Team Miracle.
It's okay though. It is okay. I just see how.
Miracle,
when light-skinned people get in the room, how y'all be bonding together.
That's hilarious.
So let's light-skinned too.
Okay.
I don't know. She's more trouble complected. I don't say she's kind of trouble.
Yeah. I'm so glad y'all don't think I'm light skinned, bro. Keep me away from that shit.
You're like red. You're like red. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Okay.
So, my sister Miracle, this energy, this is energy
like white supremacy. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about it.
So I was gonna say this energy, Miracle, that you're displaying.
All this hostility
was like this was the energy that we saw No, this was the energy. No, the like what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's up with my spot? Like, that was the energy that we saw in New Jersey when that racist white man, Edward Matthews,
tell them fucking monkeys. Tell the monkeys
tried to come up in New Jersey, and he was met with that miracle energy. You feel me? Like
he said drop the Addy. And
he did.
He dropped the pin, yo. Man said, share your location. I'm gonna pull up to your yard.
So can we play that video, John, of Edward Matthews? And this is and so just some backstory. This dude has been racist for a long time in New Jersey. Like,
I mean, that's a hell of a. This man been racist for a long time, man.
I'm saying he got like mad track records. You know what I'm saying? Like people then, and he was like a known racist. Like if you watch it, like we'll play the video. Like the cops,
he's verified in these streets.
He's verified. He's Twitter verified racist in these streets. But it's a new day. You know what I'm saying? It's a new day happening. Miracles are happening. You see how, you see how I did that?
It was not that good. It was not that good of a layup. Calm down.
All right, John, can you play that video?
Miracle hating. Miracle in her bag.
Why gotta be hating? Why can't you express my feelings?
This is hating.
Just like I told the Mount Laurel police, get these fucking monkey niggers out of here and you can't do shit. That's me.
That'd have been it for me.
3602 Gramercy Way, that's where I live. Come fucking see me.
Oh, a word?
So you're real close.
That's your word?
You know what you see? Bring whoever.
Okay.
Okay. That was an invite.
That was an invite.
Yeah, I was like, you had two cities.
Somebody called me. Someone called you. It's private property. You have no jurisdiction here whatsoever.
You talking to the police? This is how white people talk to police.
You know what? Hold on.
He walked up on
I'm
that
gonna let you do your thing.
Yeah.
Talk to these fucking.
And the police was backed up.
Fuck you.
Police been backed up.
Let them know what I'm all about and what their fucking rights they have.
All right. You want to go back to your house? I'll come back to you.
No, I'll stand right here. It's common property. Okay. Have a nice night.
And the cop knew him. Didn't do anything.
They bowl together.
Yeah.
On Tuesdays, they go bowling.
No problem.
Who lives at 1101? You guys want to step in and talk, or?
Jesus.
So if
the
you can play
homeowners association didn't tell them about him.
If you can play the next video. No, but it's just wild. Just like you said, the cop backed up. The cop didn't grab his gun.
Nothing.
He talked mad, aggressively, and bad to that police officer. And that police officer was humble as a church mouse, which we don't see.
I don't think that's the same.
Is it humble? That's not
quiet church mouse.
I'm bad with those things, but I know that's not the way you say that. How's that for those apples?
Can we bring the
humble as a church
can we bring
mouse.
the when they came to his house video, John, up? If we can bring the part 2. And it was funny, you know, they did the 2 hours. I wish we had that video where it was like 2 hours later. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You put your address out. Later. You said bring whomever. You know what I'm saying?
They should have come up playing House Party by Meek Mill and Young Chris. That's what they should have played.
Yeah. I don't know. Is John gone? What? I
don't know what happened. But if anybody didn't see it, then all of Philadelphia and New Jersey pulled up to this man's yard.
Yes.
And they got lit. And the police escorted this man out. They were throwing drinks. They were dashing drinks at him. What would have been better for me, and I know you can appreciate this, is if when they were dashing stuff at him, they'd have been like, shame, like in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, but you know, it's like you get what you asked for. He was talking tough. You know, the whole community and neighborhood showed up. You know what I'm saying? He got rearrested. I guess like the police officer said that, you know, he assaulted somebody. They had videos they didn't see. And so, I mean, you know, he you know, they say F around and find out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's scientific notation. Fuck around and find out is actually scientific notation.
He found out. You know what I'm saying?
Is Farouk your anger interpreter?
I could be. I very well could be. But that was probably the highlight of my weekend, seeing that shit. But to speak about how bold he walked up on that policeman, though, he came out with the beer belly out and the chest out, walking up on Babylon, cussing, saying, "Get these fucking niggers." That would have been it for me. But again,
I'm
going to jail.
Like,
he said, you have no jurisdiction here. Like, sir.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. You know, this crazy white man want to come up and start saying monkey nigga. Like, I'm not going to jail for you because, like, That's the thing, like, you know, and we're gonna press charges on you, and we're gonna show up in court and testify against you and want you to get the maximum. Hey, he gonna write letters to the judge. So it's like, and there's no like, why I got too much going on in my life. I got too much positivity to like, so I'm not gonna put my hand on now. If he wanted to come it's the beginning of that video, he was up on their steps.
Yeah, I'm saying he was in the doorway.
Like now, if you want to come in my doorway,
I gotta eliminate you, bro.
Yeah, at that point, it's like, bro, you're gonna either get off my property or it's gonna be a problem because I have a legal right to like remove you from your property.
We
you
gonna
know
move
what I'm
some
saying?
furniture around.
All right, so we got the video of when he did. This is him exiting his.
That was a party.
It was a party.
Niggas pulled
and niggas
up.
had mad water.
This
You lucky niggas in that glass.
day
Right.
carried out of his home by Mount Laurel police officers as protesters pelted him with anything they could get a hand on.
And they hit the police
my
too.
God.
The day began. This morning, protesters gathered on Matthews Lawn, enraged over multiple social media videos intended to be
I
shared
thought they didn't have
that went
jurisdiction. Why are
viral.
they doing that?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
In this one, you could hear
So, like, right there?
hurl racial slurs at a black neighbor.
Now, if you put your body up against my body,
Patter.
People out here because they're angry.
I'm headbutting you.
Video,
Yeah,
we saw
yeah,
another
yeah.
incident where someone felt they felt they could say
Yo, the NAACP. That's how they get down.
Wu-Tang is forever.
That's how they get down in Jersey. The NAACP dude got a Wu-Tang joint.
What did he
We got
say?
a chance to speak with Matthews about an hour before he was ultimately taken into custody. He told me he lost his composure, he regrets his words,
Of course.
and maintains he's not a racist.
Oh, okay.
Right.
No
Come
right
on,
to
man.
You know
speak to
what?
anybody using the words that I did. It was wrong.
We got a chance to speak with Matthews.
Yeah,
about an
just
hour
kill
before
that.
he
Kill
was
that.
ultimately
I don't want to hear you.
It's like it was the Ambien. It was a Twinkie. It was lack of sleep.
You had a bad
I
day.
just want a
Diabetes.
racist.
Remember the
be
dude
like,
said
I'm
diabetes?
racist.
Diabetes name
Like,
racist.
What? Like, just say
Yeah.
you're racist and move on. Like,
Right. Like we know, like,
consequences be a hell of a drug for some people.
and that's what I'm saying. Like we know you're racist, bro. Like you calling people monkeys and niggers for 10 minutes is gonna weigh a lot more than you saying I'm not a racist. Just like Rachel Nichols, like, no, we caught you when you didn't think black people was listening. We heard that's how you really feel. Don't try to come on camera and well your tears up in your eyes. We know that's not
She didn't
real.
have tears. Can we just stop saying she didn't have tears? She had nothing. She literally gave a 30-second little
She did,
statement
yeah.
because like black women do not have the luxury of having people be empathetic to our situation.
True.
And they're like, she didn't do tears. She didn't even say,
Yeah.
I'm not a racist and this is beyond
No.
my character. She was like, y'all take this over. I said,
Yeah. She said black man tap dance.
Right, yeah.
Damn.
And it's like more labor we got to do, like more black labor.
Yeah, man.
I hope they got a raise just for that
Man,
show.
look, you going? I
Some
mean,
PTO.
that's what I'm negotiating. Like, oh, you want me to go out here and do this? Hey, check this out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a bag.
I'm gonna need a bonus.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need a
for
bonus. So, I don't know. Do we want to go to? Because
Some
like,
police?
no, I thought we was gonna go to like what?
What the fuck did Trump do
What
now?
the fuck did Trump do
So
now?
let me talk about
Because
this.
there's a lot. He did a lot.
Let me talk about this. Right?
Trump had a
This-
day.
This shit, wow. This nigga ain't even in office no more and still making presidential headlines, right? This man, number 45, with the talking, yeah, I mean, with that shit, right? Said Hitler did a lot of good things. In 2018, in a European tour, this man said Hitler did a lot of good things.
But that wasn't the only. That was just one.
That's just one.
That's just one part of like Trump's day. Because
But let me say that again. Hitler.
He said that today.
No, don't say that. It's a quote. No, this wasn't a book. A book came out.
Yeah.
And basically, his chief of staff at the time, who said he was shocked.
Yeah, so he was shocked.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
he worked for Donald Trump.
This is the thing. How does your hair go two different directions? How you brush it back and get the comb over? Like,
It
how does
said-
it go?
Trump said this on a 2018 trip
Yeah, to Europe.
to Europe to mark the 100th anniversary of the First World War. He said, quote, and this is a quote from Trump. One who is not saying this, Farouk ain't saying this. This is what Donald Trump supposedly said. Look, T'Challa about to go bite him. Where that? Where he at? He said, and that was, but what he did say today, You asked a great question. What did he say today? You know what he said today, Miracle? He said that is her name Ashley? What's her
Ashley
name?
Barrett?
Ashley Barrett did nothing wrong. Yes, Miracle. Yes. And should not have been shot by the police. Miracle, he said that today.
Isn't this the 5-year anniversary of Philando Castile?
Yes.
That's even fucking more wild.
Right. But so for those that don't know who Ashley Barrett is, she was the woman. What's her name? Ashley?
I think her name was Babbitt or something. I think Ashley Barrett.
Babbitt. I don't know. Right.
He said Ashy.
Humble as a church mouse, right? Humble as a church mouse.
Ashley Babbitt. Sorry, what was I calling her? Barrett. Yeah. Ashley Babbitt. I said that too. Who basically she was a white lady, former military, flew from San Diego to go storm the Capitol. And when the police told her, like, don't come in here, it's Congress people in here, tried to get into the room and got shot.
How racist do you have to be to leave someplace warm to fly someplace cold?
In January.
You're going from San Diego to Washington, D.C. to protest. Like,
and so, of course, this is once again, but this goes into this. Y'all talking about y'all back the blue. Y'all want to fly these Blue Lives Matter flags. Y'all want to do all that. When it's Tamir Rice, when it's Philando Castile, when it's Oscar Grant, when it's
Tamir Rice.
I said Tamir Rice.
Antoine Rose II.
Antoine Rose II. You know what I'm saying? It's no big deal, right?
Eric Garner.
Right. It's no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we back the blue. Cops had to do what he had to do. And so, but Trump, the wild part is Trump said that today in this tour of whatever he's doing, and it's wild, you know what I'm saying? Because like he also sued Google and Twitter and Facebook because they kicked him off of their properties. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I guess he has a plan. I guess August 13th is a new day. If you are like wondering,
I thought it was the 14th.
No, it's the 13th. When Trump was going to be president.
Is that a Friday?
I honestly, when I was on my way back, here because I wasn't at the office, I actually saw a Trump 24.
That's a Friday. Sign. That's Friday the 13th. It is.
You saw what, Miracle? A
Trump 2024 sign. The main person was driving in front of me with the "Make America Great Again" hat. And people really believe he's coming back.
So what Jasiri explained to me earlier today was that the reason they're saying this time, Mr. My Pillow Man this time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been My Pillow Man, but
been my pillow, right? That
he just said, "Fuck my business."
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I'm riding for Donald Trump.
I'm ride or die
to the wheels fall
in hopes that I get a bailout. That they are investigating voter fraud, and they're looking to overturn fraudulent votes.
So this is actually according to, I forget what lady that works for the New York Times said that they're hoping that these vote audits,
that's it.
That there were going to be vote audits happening, and that these vote audits in places like Arizona, one of our Congress people in Pennsylvania requested some forensic study of the election. They're hoping that evidence is going to come out that's going to show that Trump won these states, and then he would then become president.
Despite the fact that there is still no legal way that they can overturn a presidential election.
Yeah.
They're still saying the same shit.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder. Oh, sorry.
Did we ever watch what?
She said Scandal. But I was just going to say, I wonder how Biden feels. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can imagine Biden to feel like that older brother where, like, he beat the little brother in Madden, but little bro still talking about how he won. And, like, he's so obsessed with it that he's trying to, like, basically incite some kind of, public outcry to say, no, I won that game. You lost.
He didn't try. 6 months ago, they ran up in the Capitol.
Yeah.
Like he actually got people so hyped that they were willing to risk going. Ashley Barrett or Babbitt lost her life for Trump. She died on Trump's lie. You know what I'm saying? And which is probably why he said there was no reason, because these are his people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, but it just, could you imagine?
Could
you imagine if August 13th, Friday the 13th, that some announcement was made
that would be a very unlucky
Trump
day.
was president? Hey, yo.
What if he came out with Jason in the Oval Office?
He's got to come out on the other beat and just being like, what's popping?
But we don't believe that's gonna happen, but
it is America, and
it's 2020, 2021. It's some some wild stuff happening. So
they made a golden statue out of this nigga.
I mean, these people are
they've literally made Trump a demigod.
Bro, they put feces in the Capitol. Like, these people stormed, and they're saying like they might do it again. Like this, they might come August 13th, like they might do it again, bro. These this is crazy. Yeah, I mean, I want to watch. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
From the safety of my home.
From the safety of my home.
These white people act a fucking fool. And they treat this shit like they shit in the Oval Office, bro. Like, imagine what has to go through your head to shit in your hand and smear it someplace.
Right? They beat cops. Like, and this is the thing. Like, and they were ex-cops. They were ex-cops and ex-military.
Even police don't fuck with police. Even the ex-police can't wait to fuck up the police, man.
I don't know. It's a lot going on. I mean, I don't know. Do we get into the black woman's curse on the Olympics? Do we?
The black woman's curse.
Man. Well, I mean, they mess with too many black people, and I guess I don't know if the Olympics. I guess there's an emergency situation in Tokyo, and the Olympics might shut down. That would be amazing
if they shut the Olympics down.
If they shut the Olympics down, or they had to postpone them, because guess who's coming back?
Guess who's coming back?
That suspension's only 30 days, y'all.
Right, yeah.
We a couple more weeks.
They said she should just show up and run. Like, who's gonna catch her anyway?
I seen that. That was hilarious.
But no, I mean, I don't know. Like, it was wild. I mean, you had Sha'Carri's thing. You had the story about they wanted to ban like the swim caps that black women wear. That was an Olympic, you know what I'm saying?
No Black Lives Matter apparel.
No Black Lives Matter, no protesting. Should we just throw the whole Olympics out? Do we just throw them all out, Miracle?
Yes. In addition to that, they had the banning of a bunch of women from the continent because it's their T count, their testosterone levels are too high. Yeah. But this whole week, people have been talking about how the Olympics is a situation where people are displaced, areas are gentrified, people are forced out. There's mass construction that may not be the safest, and so the Olympics is just another example of empire and imperialism. But because it has fireworks and our favorite athletes, we really love it. We just gotta ban everything. We just gotta abolish everything. But also
the whole world away, Miracle.
The whole world of white supremacy. Yes,
The whole world of white supremacy. But let's also talk about as a shutdown because COVID's coming back, and so we're not gonna have any sports.
Can we start that? I like that, abolish the Olympics, because I did. I mean, you mentioned it. I read a story, and it was a Japanese man who was displaced twice. He was displaced the last time the Olympics was in Japan, and he's displaced again. Like you said, somebody had tweeted something out that, I guess LA is supposed to be hosting the Olympics in 2028, and that this would be an excuse for them to increase the police force 30%. By 30% and leave it there. So to me, if this is what's going to, and then what happens, these black athletes are exploited. I mean, because the Olympics is about making huge sums of money. It's
McDonald's, Coca-Cola,
it's documented that the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, is straight up they're corrupt and stealing money. That these companies pay them to try to get the Olympics to be at their city. That's known fact. And so I don't know if we got to start our own thing. The idea, because there is this thing of so what do we say to these athletes, Miracle and Trouble and my waffle twin brother? Because you have a situation where this is how they make their living. You know what I'm saying? And for somebody Sha'Carri, for some of these black women that are swimming, for some of these for our sister, what was our sister's name that turned her, Gwen? Our sister Gwen that turned her back on the national anthem. the Olympics is like how they make their money. Like this is the thing that they're going to get the most attention, the most financial support to do. But at the same time, they're being exploited. They're told they can't protest. What do we say to these folks, Miracle? And Waffle Tea.
I have a unique take as an athlete.
Okay.
But I want to let Miracle go.
Oh, now you will. Okay. Well.
Never mind. So my take is
no take back. See, this is why you can't say spades, because you can't renege when you say stuff.
Renege is anti-black. We gotta get away from that language.
Oh well,
Wow.
so is replacing Black women. But what I would say is protesting, striking, going on strike, learn from the failure of the NBA and actually get mass movements of athletes to go on strike and demand better conditions. I think there's a lot of things going on in the world, situation in Haiti, situation in Palestine, situation in Venezuela, situation in Russia, where a lot of these athletes can really just have this like multicultural coalition and really band together to demand better policies and exchanges, because that Olympics is bringing billions of dollars, right? And so they have the opportunity to say, you know what, I want to go, I want to compete, I want to be the best of the best. I know y'all like athletes, that whole thing is competition, regardless, of the situation and the place it's being hosted. So that's what I would say. I would say just like band together and demand more, get some people from different countries and like come together and demand some more stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm rocking with Miracle on that. I had Jasiri and I talked about it when they initially announced a ban of protesting at the Olympics. We're in a social media age. We're in a digital age now where athletes can benefit from being silenced in a way like this. Like you're on a global stage where almost, at least it's safe to say conservatively 4 billion people are going to watch the Olympics worldwide.
Right.
So if you're going to make a stand, like Miracle said, band together, that at that point, it would be dope to have, someone come out, that runs track in one of these marquee events, whether the track and field events, whether it's wrestling, whether it's, one of the larger marquee Olympic events, even boxing, and take a stance like that, put something on put something on your country uniform, like a black fist or something in solidarity. But, this is the time where we're highlighting all of these different things. And theoretically, the Olympics is supposed to stop all the ills of the world for this 2-week time period.
We know that ain't happening.
And we know that ain't the case. But, we have to look at what's happening in China against the Muslims. We have to, That and the China might get the next Summer Olympic game. And we're talking about a completely different discourse here. We're talking about displacement as it comes to LA. What happened in LA? The Los Angeles Police Department didn't have tanks before the 1984 Olympics. And now they got, it's one of the most well-funded police departments in the world.
Right.
To wrap this all up, us as athletes, we always do want to compete against the best of the best. But this is a time, just like when Muhammad Ali took it upon himself to say, this is bigger than athletics. I will sit out and vacate my belt for the sense of making this statement. Athletes can compete longer. There's better sports nutrition. There's better sports science. We already postponed the Olympics once. Do it again. You know what I mean? And if you want to hold, some exhibition shit, if Floyd can get $100 million to fight a non-boxer, imagine what they would do with the exhibition Olympics.
I mean, yeah, and I think even like for somebody like Sha'Carri, like I would argue like she's probably more popular now.
Oh, absolutely. Her brand is,
like it's mad. It would be dope. It's mad like legal weed companies. I would love to see her maybe get into that for real. Had her own strain. You got this. I'm smoking that Sha'Carri. Like, what's up? Like, I mean,
that's big.
I'm saying it's like
you need to brand that, bro. Have her people call your people.
Wiz. Like, but no, I think that would be dope because that is like it's people making hundreds of millions of dollars on legal marijuana right now. You know what I'm saying? She was in a place where it was legal to smoke. We know it's against Olympic rules. We don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? But I would argue like the next time she runs, wherever that's at, people are gonna want to tune in because like we connect with her as a human being now. Like it's not about she's the USA or whatever. We connect with her struggle. We connect with her as a human being, and that's greater than all that. So I think, like, just like you said, if like I feel like hopefully more athletes will see, like, no, be your authentic self regardless of what these rules are, and there's actually more value in you being your authentic self. I mean, look at of course we know what happened to Tommy Smith and John Carlos then, but look at them now. You know what I'm saying? The most iconic photo of all time. Like, look at these folks now. And so I would just, encourage folks to take those stances. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
For anybody that doesn't know, I always think it's interesting to Matt, and I know this is this week on white supremacy, but I always thought it was dope to find out that it was the white guy, the Australian man, who gave them the gloves.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was super interesting. That, hey, man, you should do this. I thought that shit was hot.
And it is wild to see like white people talk about roles when you can't even wear a damn mask. Like, well, I mean, it's just, it's just. It's maddening. It's just maddening. Like you literally like got like all your guns out because somebody wanted you to wear a mask walking down the streets, and then you want to rules us. Shut the fuck up.
What Miracle say at the beginning? They got what did you say about they couldn't handle what it's like to be black for just a fraction, and now
just a
year.
So we have a new segment now, and well, I guess it's the same segment, but we got a new intro to our segment. Did you want to introduce our new segment, John?
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Babylon for dead.
So, I mean, because we wanted, like, every week there's some crazy police story, some crazy white supremacist, and there's probably like 10 this week. I saw one where a black woman was like forced to strip. I mean, it's so many. One of the most egregious, though, happened in Ohio, where the chief of police was caught on tape putting a KKK letter on a black officer's desk.
Where was this again?
Somewhere in Ohio, man. I don't know if.
Isn't it all the same? If it's not like Cleveland,
it's all the same. But I'm saying, like, when you talk about like the need for more black officers, they had a black officer. Like, them having a black officer and being in a space with a black officer did not stop their racism and white supremacy. And he said it was a joke.
Tried to write it off as a prank. It's like, you meant that, bro. You meant that. You knew what the fuck you were doing.
Hey, you know what a joke is? A joke is like, maybe I sit down and you have like one of them little fart things, and it's that's a joke. Like KKK that has actually like lynched black people, killed black people, terrorized black people. That's not funny.
Dave Chappelle said the KKK came to his house in Ohio.
Is that why I got that gun? I mean,
I get like this is Ohio.
So like, Sheffield Lake, Ohio.
What the hell is that?
Sheffield Lake, and that's where the police chief. You know what I'm saying? Right, switching salt and sugar. That's a joke. Ha ha ha! I thought this was sugar and it's salt. Ha ha ha! That's funny. KKK. That's not funny.
No.
It's not funny at all. It's like read the room, bro. It's like you have to know your audience when you're making jokes.
Yo, they exhausted, trouble. They had enough of his Black Lives Matter.
Tired. I'm just trying to figure out where he got this whole KKK outfit from. Like, did he just go in his like attic and like
so he had
pull
it
out and he ordered this off of Amazon? Because I feel like there's like a little more questions that need to go into this investigation.
Yeah,
he sat there and laid it out and then watched this black officer look at it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like like that of course that, and then he was unrepentant. He was kind of like, yo, like, no, this was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like,
bro smiled and said, "So am I fired now?"
Right,
and then proceeded to write his letter of resignation.
Yeah, like he wasn't even. It was like no big deal to him
because he'll get hired someplace else.
True, right? He'll go to another department.
He's gonna go to the next town over and be the sheriff there, something like that.
Yeah,
because he represents their values. So,
I mean, I mean, because it's like, I mean, and that's the history of policing. It's about regulating black people. You know what I'm saying? And that's the KKK was about terrorizing, running out. I don't know if he had the full KKK. I thought he like laid out something that said KKK, but
he did put I think it was like a mask on the desk or something like that.
Yeah. Hey,
see, like,
HR, black people go to HR, write everything down. I'm too stressed to come to work.
Hey, yo, and it's funny because like all these things link. Once again, here's a coworker. You know what I'm saying? And you know this chief has said, we have black officers that work here. He's my friend. This black officer, he said that, like Rachel Nichols, like all of them. And then as soon as you didn't think the cameras was on, what are you doing? Putting KKK hoods on the brother's desk.
See, my friends don't do shit like that, bro. They know better.
No.
That's not a friend.
Yeah, that's not an ally. That ain't nothing. That ain't none of that.
I just don't see where I fail to see the joke, just the humor and all of this shit. Like, and I don't know.
Right. There's no like saying like that's like you gonna burn a cross on somebody's lawn and be like, hey, don't you get the joke? Like I reminded you of like the terror and horror that your ancestors went through. That's funny, right? You know what I'm saying?
That sound more like Fear Factor than Comedy Central.
Exactly.
You know
and you're not gonna. Well, I don't want to say you're not going to because they probably would. You know what I'm saying?
But there's some black writer, Lena, who's probably gonna do a dumbass comedy based on that premise right there, and I'm gonna be so mad.
Please don't.
You know, Lena and her crew are.
Everybody knows, like, you're not gonna like put some swastika on some Jewish person's and be like, ha, get it? Ha, it's funny. Like, no, that's like, no, that's not funny. You know what I'm saying? That brings up a history that's painful to people. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, yeah, I mean, so if people that do that are not your friends. Speaking of doing something that is not friendly, our Karen of the week.
Man,
our Karen of the week had an interesting use for a popular breakfast food. I don't know. I'm gonna need like a white person just explain this thinking.
Like, let me just put it like this. Let me.
Oh, wait, can we put the story up first?
Okay.
John, can you put the story up of our Karen of the week and his popular breakfast item that he used as a weapon? Do you have that? That let me make sure you had that video because I didn't label it. This is it. Go ahead, just play that, but let's just run it. Let's run this. This
is so sad.
A bizarre crime investigation tonight in Las Vegas with bacon as the weapon. A Muslim family says a neighbor smeared raw bacon on their home, and now he's been arrested. 13 Action News reporter Astrid Mendez joins us live with more on this story that you will only right here on 13 Action News. Astrid.
Trisha, as you may know, pork is forbidden for Muslims. They cannot even touch it. So they were pretty shocked when they saw that a man was basically robbing raw bacon all over outside their home. They told me tonight that this is actually something that has been going on for months. Problem with this neighbor that now has basically faced the cops because of this. Tonight, a family too scared to show their faces say this is exactly what it looks like.
And puts
the with a scoop of raw bacon, robbing it all over their home.
The staircase, the railing, the door frame, everywhere. And it was so unfortunate because when we eat there, you touch those places in order to enter. And we don't necessarily, it's not kryptonite. However, if anybody rubs meat on your surface and walls, and it will be uncomfortable.
Yo, I mean, so think about it.
You guys, look at this.
Look at him. Like, there's clearly something up with girl.
No, that's downstairs and claims he's called them names and caused problems before.
Can we pause that video, John? Oh my God, I'm sorry. I just don't. This nigga
did on purpose. He looking at the camera. Y'all gotta stop giving these bigots a pass.
This nigga went to the store.
There's a bacon shortage.
I can imagine him having like a big cart of bacon and somebody like, yo, you cooking a lot of breakfast.
Hungry.
You cooking a lot of breakfast at your house. Oh no.
let me just.
There is a bacon and wing shortage, and I just don't understand people would just disrespect food like this.
We're not vampires. Okay, the presence of pork just doesn't repel us or send us to hell. Like, that's not how that works. Like, we're okay around it. We just don't eat it. And for him,
unclean.
What you say?
It's unclean.
It's yeah. I mean, Christians should be eating anyway, but that's not neither here nor there. But he went so far as to go Old Testament, like he's getting the firstborns removed by marking the door. Like, bro, that's not how this shit works.
And you know, they probably walked by this dude. He probably said hello.
Right, yeah.
I mean, like, you know, it's a Muslim family. Like, you know, they're not playing no music loud at you. I mean, they're
Muslims
like,
are the most boring people on the planet.
I mean, and that's what you do. Like, this is your big plan. This is your revenge fantasy. This is what you're telling people. You want, hey, this is some bacon, and I'm gonna rub the bacon up and down the
banister.
My nigga,
White people.
You know, somebody was looking out their window.
How you gonna have?
Bigoted breakfast?
The Black Lives Matter make these people go crazy. I mean, this is bro, really? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's hilarious. I mean, I find it. I mean, to watch this man with his raw bacon.
Would that be Airbnb?
Like,
they
did
get
he bring
breakfast
it from his house, like stored in his pocket.
No, he didn't have no plastic bag in it. At least have a little plastic bag that you can take it out of.
Right?
He was just raw dogging it in the heat.
Wouldn't the concrete just shred the bacon so it's just like gonna smear against? Like, I don't know,
man. White people, please,
Miracle, get your people.
Leave food alone.
Your friends. Don't listen to new people.
Oh my God, that was I mean, yeah, full bacon man.
What was his name?
Nigga got arrested.
Caucasian complected comrades.
What you in for?
Right. This is actually a hate crime. No, this is real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know
it is a hate crime.
Yeah.
Or
Like
in Allegheny County, ethnic intimidation.
Ethnic intimidation. Like he specifically
this is terrorism.
He knew like y'all don't mess with. You're not supposed to.
That's so
take
unsanitary. Like
that's what I'm saying.
You're not supposed to handle raw food.
I mean, why not just put? He could have just put bacon all over his own hand and just like shook their hand every day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't get.
That's still nasty. It's still raw food.
It's nasty. It's super nasty.
Again, why I say when you go back to lockdown, because people don't have like good hygiene, and it's just.
Well, I mean, it does look like we're going into lockdown, but we
hopefully after I see the museum.
Yes. So I'm glad. Please send me a text message reminder for that. We did also have a segment, and I know we're going OT. We wanted to talk about like what is the craziest, most racist, white supremacist thing happening, or should we just end? Or are we gonna talk about this?
You talking about
your people, your country?
Listen,
your country.
We here.
Or I mean, or should we just end?
No, we here. We talk.
We here. I mean, yeah, we can stay because y'all, y'all are together. Right?
I mean, So I mean, and you know, right now I mean, what's happening in Canada, you know, and just to put in, you know, they're finding just
they found over 1,000
indigenous bodies around these Catholic churches, and it's weird that the Catholic Church, like,
they were silent on pedophilia.
I mean, it's just weird that like there's no real like people is putting bacon to mess with Muslims. It's no real backlash, but I guess maybe in Canada now. People are like burning churches down, but you have all of these indigenous bodies.
What DMX say is dark and hell is hot.
I mean, and so just did we find a organization
so
that we can support?
I would like to highlight first that the first ever governor was appointed, and she gave her speech.
First ever governor
of indigenous descent.
Okay.
In First Nations person to represent governorship in Ottawa, spoke in her native language, which was super dope. But there are different organizations right now. I couldn't name them off the bat, but Prime Minister Trudeau is making an effort to highlight these organizations to where you can donate and raise awareness to the Indigenous and First Nations people of Canada. And they're calling for Canadians to set aside their pride and really just think about whose land you're on. I know, like every year, I love to celebrate Canada Day more so for a baseball aspect of it, but this year it was different, man. You know, like I had said on the One Hub Power Hour, the moment they announced that they found 218 bodies, I said, you know, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now that they're actually looking, you're going to find thousands of more situations like this of, you know, state-sponsored violence against First Nations people in Canada, the indigenous people of Canada.
And it goes back to like what Miracle said. I mean, we just got to throw it all away. You know
all
what
of
I'm
it.
saying? Because,
burn it all. And that's what, you purge it with fire.
We talk about all these Olympics. I like this. This ain't none of this your land anyway. You
That's
know
what I'm saying.
Represent the United States. This ain't your land anyway. That ain't Canada's land anyway. You want
to be honest with you,
Maple
the
Leafs.
indigenous people came up with the idea of the Olympic Games first.
Stuff was always colonized and stolen and just made worse by the oppressors.
And made like to like capitalize and made some money thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, but that shit was that was one of the most insidious things to find An additional 700 bodies around the Catholic Church.
So yeah, so our call to action would be, let's continue to support, or let's support, some of these organizations, and hopefully we'll get a link out of these organizations kind of doing work with those families, with the indigenous people there that have to suffer through this. You had something you were going to say, Miracle?
Yeah, I was saying like the Carlisle School here in Pennsylvania. Even here in Pennsylvania, we've had a bunch of youth homes and places be shut down because of abuse of children.
Absolutely.
And so the Catholic Church is not a stranger to these atrocities. They haven't been held accountable. They haven't taken responsibility.
Yeah, right. They haven't taken any responsibility, and so
accountability or responsibility for the things that they have done. And so I think it's very important that while we have these conversations about religion, we understand, in my personal opinion, how violent and extreme religion, especially Western religion, really is. Absolutely. And the legacy that it has left.
And then it's like and this gets into that, like, where we want to support these organizations that are helping these folks, but we need some damn reparations. You know what I'm saying?
And this really drives that point.
We need Catholic Church. Y'all got billions of dollars.
Get your own country.
We need some damn reparations for all this stuff that happened. You know what I'm saying? I know the Boy Scouts, I guess they, trying to pay a whole bunch of people and all that stuff. Like, we need reparations. Not only do Black people need reparations in this country, but for all, just like when you talk about the abuse, Boy Scouts had thousands of cases of abuse as well. And so all of that stuff, like apology, accountability, that's cool. Y'all need to come off with some bread. You know what I'm saying?
My dad was Boy Scouts for that reason.
Your dad was smart, man. Your dad, saved you. Do you have our book of the week, Miracle?
Our white pages?
Our white pages? Do you have a white pages, Miracle? Hey! Look at Miracle handling the business. Talking about state of emergencies, how we win in the country that we built. Our sister Tamika Mallory will be in the city on Saturday speaking at YBMKQ's benefit, 5-year anniversary benefit, which is sold out. Shout out to YBMKQ. We're trying to see if we can't put something together to where you could purchase the book and support the book. But shout out to Tamika and the great work that Until Freedom is doing. And so, and shout out to YBMKQ for organizing. They're also doing that. Unfortunately, Community Day was canceled just because of the weather. But Saturday's event's still going on. The gospel concert's still going on. So definitely, feel free to shout and support, YBMKQ for the great work that they're doing. Any last comments?
Yeah. So on the 13th of July, I will be at
It's my birthday.
Which is also Trouble's birthday, so we got to large up that, man. But I will be at Social Status. It's their first in-person event. I'm doing something called Soul to Soul, a history of the political history of sneakers. Talia, if you could drop that in the chat right there. I almost called it Talia. Damn, I almost went back. I'm sorry, Brown Bear. I'm sorry.
I would love to know about these things when they come to fruition.
I would. That's okay.
I'd love to know about those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Surprise! How's the feel?
It was actually supposed to be next week, but it's this week. 2 weeks from now.
I could have swore we had a staff meeting like yesterday.
I just found out today that it was going to be on the 13th.
How do you feel finding out like this information just like last minute? Blindsided.
Oh, you mean like just what? Oh, yes, I feel your pain.
It feel hurt, right? Okay.
So let's say we talk about family business. All right, so Soul to Soul, politics of sneakers.
See, this is why y'all have to come comfort me because I'm so hurt.
Oh, next week is Trouble's birthday. If you want to, support Trouble, all the great work that he's doing. He just got an incredible review in the Pittsburgh for his last album. So we're waiting for some new Trouble NLS work. And you have something happen in Miracle too, right?
Not till next week.
I thought aren't you moderating? Are you moderating? Or that's family business. All right, we're gonna keep going.
But aren't we having a show tomorrow? Isn't there some shows?
Yes, there are. There is On Tilt, which is about mental health.
Oh, no, there's Black Light this week.
Shout out to Mama Brown and shout out to Julius Boatwright, who just got a great write-up in the Still Smiling in Public Source, as one of the organizations helping with mental health at this point. And I know the Jaylen Brown Foundation just celebrated 1 year of the hunger strike that Miss Danielle Brown went on. Shout out to both of them. So yes, remember that was started last year, and it's wild how quick a year goes. So support it until tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and then on Friday
we got Black Light. Me and JM the Poet live 6 o'clock. It's gonna be a really dope episode. JM got a lot of things popping. It's gonna be a very
thank you, Celeste.
Troublesome, huh?
You feel me?
Drop that Cash App birthday love. And so yeah, Black Light, and then this weekend will be YBMKQ, and so we will see y'all next week. Peace, love, and all that good stuff.
And Muslim bacon.
Never lose sight.
The turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon grease.
Oh my God, y'all look hilarious.
Shout out to Grandma B's, got the turkey bacon and the beef bacon.
Welcome to the whitest house. Slave souls haunt the halls when the light is out. Except the blood of the poor and the wick they mouth. The last gas of a world that is dying out. Welcome to the whitest house, where every room is a tomb that they lie about. Where you can put your filthy feet on the finest couch, and for the right amount, you can even buy it out.
That's the essence of your entire political identity. You might be a white supremacist.